Learners beginning grade 10 should be reasonably capable in their first additional language. This includes both interpersonal and cognitive skills. This should be the case, but unfortunately, it's not always. And teachers must be able to identify and support these learners that are struggling. Let's have a look at other ways we can enhance the learner's ability and capabilities in first additional language. First additional language consists of 4 sections: listening and speaking, reading and viewing, writing and presenting, and language structure and conventions. And these are all equally important. This must all be done in 4.5 hours per week, which is the time allocated for first additional language. Learning an additional language should enable learners to develop additional skills. Learners should be able to communicate effectively and appropriately to a specific audience, and they should be able to listen, speak, read, and write and present the language with confidence. They should be able to use this language to assist learning in other areas of the curriculum, and most importantly, they should be able to form an opinion and give reasons, both verbally and in a written form, and express their emotions. They should be able to find meaning in different texts, and most importantly, creatively express themselves through short stories and other creative means. To ensure that the learners actually achieve these skills, we need to make sure our teaching and our methodologies are appropriate. One of the sections the learners really struggle with is the literature section, as it requires reading, understanding, interpreting, and expressing themselves. Now, how can we make this simpler for them, and how do we teach this to make sure that they're actually involved and discuss their ideas and thoughts? Well, the first is to use what we call the 4 B's. The first B is the begin. Introduce the text to the class, discuss the title, the front page or pictures on the cover, and make predictions about the book. It's important to create an interest in the text from the beginning. In the case of a set workbook, have a quick recap from previous reading and highlight key elements. Then move on to the basic reading. Try and read most of the text in class without interruptions, as you really want the learners to have a clear and basic understanding of the text. Consolidate the vocabulary by compiling possibly a list of words. Once they've done the basic reading, then you can go beyond, and this is the most important stage. Here is where the class will begin to delve deeper into the text and look for meaning. They look at structure, paragraphing, and layout of poems or set works, beginning, middle, and ending. The final stage is broadening, and any written tasks that are set must be closely linked to the study of the literary text. The purpose of extending the learner's interpretation must be clear and have benefit. Interpretation is when someone actively seeks for what is meaningful to themselves. Therefore, there is no right or wrong answer, and we need to encourage our learners to think creatively and critically and express their own opinions. Most importantly, we need to keep in mind when teaching first additional language that learners need as much exposure to the language as possible. They must read and listen to the language through many different sources and as much and often as possible. Reading is an effective method for developing and extending vocabulary. Encourage the learners to read all the time. And make sure that the reading and the text that they give it are match the level of the learner, or they'll lose interest and won't actually learn anything or read anything. Most importantly, with the first additional language, we've got to instill enjoyment of the language into the learners.